Hey, what's going on everybody? Desir here, and we have a round 1 opponent. Golly, I'm guilty. Now I do have to say I'm pretty guilty of having a pretty bad defense right now. If you guys saw my defense options video, you know what I'm running. You know it's going to be very tough for him, and I feel a little bit bad about this. However, I'm going to do what I've got to do on this matchup. Now my opponent is no pushover either. He has a very tough defense, and I'm going to explain how I plan to approach this defense because of the way my defense is currently set up right now. Now, if you are interested in this and you do end up enjoying this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'm pushing for that 1,000 subs and I'm getting close every single day. So thank you everybody for helping me out with this. But without further ado, let's go ahead, take a look at my opponent. Golly, I'm guilty. So my opponent is currently sitting at 114 million TCP. They have Mephisto, so this is going to be about a 20 million punch up or so for me. However, like I said, my defense is very tough, and I don't think he's going to actually full clear me, which is what I'm going to be going for on this one. I'm going to be doing quite a few sacks on this defense, so let's look at the defense, and as we talk about it, I'm going to say what my game plan is going into this defense. In Stage 1, they have the X-Treme X-Men with Rogue and Dorm. Stage 2, they have Mephisto with a lot of support characters. I will be double sacking this one. I should be able to take that out with New Warriors afterwards. For Stage 3, they have the Black Knight with the Spider Society, and it's a pretty big team. I debate about going for the sack, however I'm going to go for the one shot. If I end up failing, I should be able to clean that up pretty easily. For Stage 4 is the new Illuminati team with Captain Britain. I will have to double sack this one. I don't want to risk doing a single sack and end up failing it. For Stage 5, they have the full Superior 6 team. I think I have a one shot counter for this, so we're going to be testing that out. For Stage 6, they have the Mercs for money with the Nightcrawler team, so overall, we will be doing at least 4 sacks in this matchup. For Stage 1, I'm going to use my Masters of Evil with Northstar and Nova. Now you do see on here that my Moonstone is currently a Skirmisher. That's because their Forge is a Striker. So my plan on this is to end up using Moonstone's ultimate at the start. I'll be able to do a turn rewind, put a stun on somebody, and throw that ability block on Forge. This is going to give us that little bit of extra control that we're looking for in this matchup. Titania will be going first in this matchup for us. We're going to target the Rogue and use the ultimate. We're not worried about the ability block, it's more about the reflexive taunt, so that way we actually get the disrupt on her. Kang is up next. We're going to target the Gambit and use the special. That's going to put slow on Gambit and Rogue so we can control them a little bit more. Now that Moonstone's up, we're going to target the Sunspot and use the ultimate. That's going to put a stun on him, do that turn meter rewind, and we got the ability block on Forge. Northstar's now up. We use the ultimate and that clears all of the revive onces. His job is done, so I don't care that he was killed off. For Nova's turn, we're going to target the Gambit and use the special. That's going to put a stun on him. Kang is up, we use the ultimate, and that kills everybody but the Forge, and Titania's able to finish him off. This was very clean, and having that Nova and Northstar in there made this very easy. For Stage 2, we're going to use that double sack. The first team we're going to go in with is going to be the Invaders. We're just going to try to pull as many of the opening abilities as we can from this enemy team. Mephisto's going to end up getting his ult back anyways because of the Thanos, but I'm just going to let this play out. There's really no narration needed on this one. For the second sack, we're going to go in with our Bifrost team. I don't need this team elsewhere. So the plan for this one is we're going to load in, pull all of these specials from this team now, and once we get to a safe spot where Mephisto uses his ultimate, we're going to pause it, time the game out, and then we're going to go in with our real hit. Again, I'm not really going to narrate this one. There's nothing really to talk about during the sack. And for the real hit, we're going to end up using our new warriors here. Hopefully we can get off of the Absorbing Man taunt. From there, we're going to target down the Mephisto, and we should be able to take him out. He's the real threat on this matchup. I don't really care about anybody else during this one. Gwenpool's going to be going first in this matchup. We're going to use her special. That's going to flip those positive effects. However, we weren't able to flip that taunt. Firestar is up. I debated about going for this special. Instead, I decided against that and still decided to use the ultimate on the Absorbing Man. The Absorbing Man does end up going stealth, and he ends up dropping the taunt. So Deathpool's now able to target that Quicksilver and use the special to spread all those negative effects to those adjacent enemies. Cloak's turn is up. We're going to now go all in on that Mephisto. So we're going to use the ultimate that gets blinds out there and some pretty good damage to the enemy team. Dagger's turns up. We use the ultimate and that kills everybody but the Mephisto. However, we get a lot of pings from that death pool. Gwenpool's now going to use the ultimate that ends up getting the kill. Even though the Absorb Man didn't drop the taunt at the beginning of the fight, we're able to recover and still get the victory on this one. For stage 3, we're going to try to go for the one-shot on this one. We're going to use our Secret Defenders with Spider-Man Big Time. We need the Big Time to be able to flip those buffs off of the Black Knight. From there, the Black Cat needs to use the special to get the stun on the Black Knight. If something ends up going wrong here, this will be a fail. I'm still going to keep it, and we're just going to try to go for the cleanup. Spider-Man Big Time is going to go first. We are going to use that ultimate. We were able to peel off the taunt and the defense up, however the immunity stayed on him. Here I had an issue with the Ms. Marvel Hardlight. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use the ultimate to still try to do the turn rewind. I felt it was more important to actually remove that immunity so that way Black Cat can use her special on him. So I did end up using Ms. Marvel Hardlight's special to peel off that immunity. Black Cat ended up using the special, so I got the trauma stun now on the Black Knight. Ghost Rider Robbie's up next. You want to target the Penny and use the special. She unfortunately blocked and resisted the ability block. So now this is pretty much a lost cause for me. I'm still going to try to do as much damage as I can. Maybe kill the Black Knight. Maybe peel some more of the abilities off of the Spider Society team. However, I'm going to lose this matchup now just because I couldn't get the ability block on the Penny, and I had to actually use the Ms. Marvel Hardlight special on that Black Knight, as opposed to being able to do a turn rewind to the Pavitra, the Penny, and the Peter B. Parker. That was the main goal I want to do in this matchup. So I'm going to let this play out, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to end up using for the cleanup on this one. For the cleanup on this one, I'm going to use my Tangled Web, Eternals, and Kestrel. The Icarus is going to be able to flip all those positive effects. I'll be able to get some defense downs out there. This counter should work really good as far as the cleanup goes. For our side, the Spider-Man 2099 is going to be going first. I'm going to use the ultimate targeted on the Penny. For the Spider-Weaver turn, I'm going to target the Peter B. Parker and use the ultimate, so that way I can get the trauma stun on him, and now I have those charges up to protect us. Icarus is now up, we're going to use the ultimate. We didn't get the double tap, however we have defense downs out there so we can start getting those Kestrel pings. Cersei does the ultimate again, that gets more turn meter rewind. Kestrel's going to use the special, and now we have a very easy cleanup on the Penny. This counter, as far as the cleanup goes, worked perfectly for us. We have now reached stage 4, which is that full Illuminati with Captain Britain team. We're going to go in with 2 sacks, and these sacks happen so quickly there's nothing really to narrate. I go in, I die, I load up the next one, I die. It's pretty crazy, so enjoy how fast this Illuminati team makes work of these sacks. For the second sack, I'm going in with my Out of Time team. I debated about going in without this and just going for the hit right now. However, this is a 1 diamond Captain Britain at G19. I didn't want to risk it, so I'm going in for another sack. Hopefully I can pull a few more abilities from this team, and hopefully we can get the victory on the final hit of this one. So for the final hit on this one, we're going to go in with our superior 6-3 piece, Vulture, and Emma. I'm going to give a huge shout out to Dorky Dad and all of the content creators from the tournament, as this is where we discover the counter for this team. Basically, the Emma's going to allow it to where our team can go first. Vulture's going to make sure they don't have that speed up. However, because we can't use our ultimate with Green Goblin Classic on turn 1, we're going to have to use the special and kind of wing it from there on how to actually beat this team right now. So our Green Goblin Classic will be going first. We're going to target the Hank Pym and use the special. That's going to do the trauma on him, do a nice turn meter rewind. For Vulture's turn, we're going to target the Mr. Fantastic and use the special. That's going to get the slow on the Captain Britain and the Black Panther Shuri, which I felt was very important. Craven's going to use the special on the Hank Pym, and that does end up getting the kill on him, so we're feeling fairly well right now. Spider Slayer's going to use the special on the Captain Britain, because he does have the taunt on him now from that reflexive taunt ability that he has. The pings from Green Goblin Classic are doing some pretty good work here, as that was able to take out the Black Panther Shuri. So right now they are targeting down my Vulture and my Emma. However, we did some pretty good damage right now. I think as long as we don't lose our Green Goblin Classic, we're gonna be okay right now. So right there, the Black Bolt did end up taking out the Emma. Green Goblin Classic is now up. We're going to use that ultimate so we do get that turn meter rewind along with some nice negative effects out there. Vulture's up. We're going to use the basic into the Captain Britain, and we're just going to try to tunnel him down right now, which we're able to get that kill. So now we just have to kill the Black Bolt. This felt a little dicey because if they would have targeted the Green Goblin Classic, it would have been game over on this one. For stage 5, we're going to pull back from about a season or two ago. We're going to use our Apocalypse with Undying, Doom, and Dorm. I end up dropping the zombie Iron Man, that way I'm guaranteed to get the revive on Dr. Doom, just in case he ends up getting killed off here. So Green Goblin Classic is going to be going first, and he uses the ultimate. That was able to push our Dr. Doom right off the bat, so we're going to use the ultimate, and that's going to allow our Apocalypse to be able to take the ride because our Apocalypse is G19 level 100. For the Dr. Doom, we're going to use a basic into the Lizard to get the vulnerable on him, a basic into the Green Goblin Classic, and now we're going to target the Craven and use the special. That's going to get another vulnerable out on the field. Apocalypse is up. We're going to target the Green Goblin Classic and use the ultimate. The striker attack is going to end up putting the stun on him. We're now going to shift over to the Lizard and use the Falcon Punch, mainly because he has all those death proofs on him, and that's just going to instantly kill him off. Apocalypse is going to target the Spider Slayer and use the special that was able to kill the Craven. Now we're going to clean up, use the basic on the Green Goblin Classic, and now the Doc Ock. This ended up working perfectly for us. For stage 6, we're going to use our Cabal, Archangel, Lizard team. Archangel and Lizard are fast enough to where we can use the ultimate on turn 1 to get the early crit. That's going to start speeding up our Cabal. Then from there, this is going to turn into a very easy matchup. The enemy Nightcrawler is going to be going first and use the special. The evades pretty much save us from that. Archangel's up. We use the ultimate to strip those buffs and get the crit on that Sasquatch. So now we do have the speed up. Lizard's going to be using the ultimate that strips all the buffs away from the opponent. Iron Patriot's going to target the Old Man Logan and use the special. Namor's up. We use the ultimate on the Panda Pool, and that does end up killing the Old Man Logan. And as you see, the pings from the Archangel for the turn rewind is doing pretty well for us right now. Leader's going to use the special on the Deadpool, that does end up getting the kill on him, and now we just have to worry about the Panda Pool and the Nightcrawler. Iron Patriot uses the ultimate on the Panda Pool, that ends up killing the Nightcrawler, and we got the kill. This ended up working very well for us. And I did end up getting the victory on this one. My opponent wasn't able to clear one of my rooms, which I can guess which one that one was, and they finished with a 41,781. I did end up doing 4 sacks total in this, and I did end up dropping an extra one, so I got a 48,178. Let's go ahead, check the defenses, and see what ended up happening. For stage 1, I ended up using my Masters of Evil, and I ended up adding in Northstar and Nova. This ended up getting me at 8364. For stage 2, it was the Mephisto room with a bunch of support characters. I ended up having to do the 2 sacks on it, then I went in with the New Warriors. This got me a 7565. For stage 3, I had some bad RNG with that Secret Defenders counter, and that basically caused me to drop the attack. I was able to come in with a very good cleanup. This ended up getting me a 7958. Stage 4 was the full Illuminati with the Captain Britain involved. I did the double sack, then I ended up using that Superior 6 team with Vulture and Emma. I was able to get the victory. This got me a 7556. For stage 5, I ended up using the Apocalypse with Undying, Dr. Doom, and Dorm. Storm was the insurance policy just in case I lost the Doctor Doom, so I can still end up using the ultimate to give Apocalypse the ride. This ended up working very well for me, and it gave me an 8366. For stage 6, the Cabal, Archangel, Lizard worked very well into this Marks for Money team with Nightcrawler. I was able to get the early crit, and then from there it was game over as I was able to keep doing the turn rewinds to them with Archangel. This got me at 8369. Now for my defenses. My opponent used their Masters of Evil with Dr. Doom into my Extreme X-Men with Rogue. This got them at 8351. For stage 2, my opponent used their own version of Super Skrull and Friends versus mine. Overall, this got them at 8342, but it was a very dicey matchup as it came down to their Super Skrull versus mine. For stage 3, my opponent did the exact same matchup that I was trying to do into their Spider Society and Black Knight. Theirs ended up working. Their Spider-Man Big Time was able to flip all the buffs. Their Ghost Rider Robbie was able to put the ability block on my Penny. So you do see how the RNG does play into this matchup. This ended up getting them at 8359. For stage 4, my opponent ended up using their Apocalypse, Red Hulk, Tangled Web, and Cabal. This was into my Old Man Logan X-Men room. This ended up getting them at 8359. And now comes stage 5. This is where I have my Illuminati with Mephisto. My opponent initially attempted with the Darkhold and then the Infinity Watch as a Sax. Then they went in with the New Warriors and they weren't able to do anything. Overall, this got them 0 points. For stage 6, my opponent ended up coming in here with the Cabal team with Proxima and Omega Red. This was into my Darkhold with Quicksilver and Dakin. This got them at 8370. Overall, my defense did exactly what I wanted it to do. My Old Man Logan was able to pull their Apocalypse, my Super Skrull pulled their Super Skrull, and they weren't able to use their Cabal into that Illuminati team. Now I am fully aware that having the Illuminati and Mephisto together is a very evil move, however in the bracket that I'm in, I felt it was a necessity. Currently my Illuminati is pulled off of defense and I end up putting something else in its place, mainly because we have an event starting today to where you need to use your Illuminati for offense. So if you're watching this, please remember to pull your Illuminati from defense so you can actually use them in the event starting. I did end up enjoying your defense, Golly, and I hope that you enjoyed facing mine. I do apologize again about the stage 5. That was a very tough one, and hopefully we can get matched up again in the future. Now, if you all did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.